Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching LUBED for April the 7th, 2023. Feels like it's been forever since I've done a preview video, but realistically, it has been a few days. I think the last one was done last month, actually. It is also Good Friday to those who are part of the Catholic and Christianity religion, but I believe that every Friday is a Good Friday because it's Friday, for different reasons, obviously. Yeah, we are going into a very interesting period as this is the last week of the NHL season, and now the alignment of teams and who's going to play who is going to be start to develop. In fact, they were saying on Hockey Night in Canada that a lot of the tail of the tape of who's going to play who is going to happen after tomorrow night's games. So we're going to see a lot. However, the discussion with the Edmonton Oilers is a slightly little bit different, as it is going to be an emotional return for Jason Demaris as he is finally getting his chance to play his 700th NHL game. And the reason why I emphasize finally is the last time he played an NHL game was 2020, 2021. It's been a long haul, and he's been shut down since then. In fact, he went over to Europe for a little bit and played for Team Canada in the last Olympics since the players were unable to go due to the COVID protocol reasons. So yes, he is coming back. His family will be on hand, and he even was reported saying in the scrum this morning that he did tell Jay Woodcroft that he's probably going to cry on that very first shift, and then it's all business afterwards. So right on. It's good that the Oilers organization are also giving him that opportunity. But going into tomorrow, they are playing the San Jose Sharks, who have had a horrible season. Now, this is one of two more games left. They will close out the season with the Sharks on the 13th. But right now, San Jose, 22, 40, 16, 60 points. They will not qualify for this year's playoffs. However, they have a Norris Trophy candidate in Erik Karlsson, who's having a hell of a year. And it's so sad to see a guy having that kind of a year not be able to play in the playoffs. But that's just the way it works out sometimes. That just goes to prove to you, one man cannot, and that holds very well with the Oilers, as we saw McDavid try to take McDavid and Draisaitl last year, try to take that team all the way, and you can't. You need to have a strong, fortified, united front in front of you to get to that point. The Edmonton Oilers, on the other hand, are in the opposite direction with a record of 47, 23, and 9, 103 points. Second in the Pacific, trying to chase down the Pacific Division title. And it's going to get to my, part of this is going to get to my Twitter question a little bit later, but is there a chance that they could play the Calgary Flames in the first round? Could Calgary actually sneak in there and make the playoffs? Wouldn't that be interesting? A Battle of Alberta once again. So I'll be asking a Twitter question related to that a little bit later. As far as the line combinations go, this is a few days old. This was on the 5th, I believe, is when they did this one. Yeah, April 5th, and it was based off of the last game. Now, Jason Demaris will be in the lineup, so who comes out, I'm not sure. I'm thinking it could be Philip Broberg, or they might want to rest Darnell Nurse before the playoffs. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. One of these bodies will be out. But the first line starts with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. The second line is going to be Vander Kane, Leon Draisaitl, and Kyler Yamamoto. Third line is expected to be Warren Foegele, Nick Bjugstad, and Matthias Janmark. That line is starting to look really good. Klim Kostin with Derek Ryan and Philip Broberg. Now, I think Klim Kostin was actually on that third line last time. They looked fabulous. Bjugstad, Kostin, and Janmark looked absolutely fabulous. In fact, they were pretty much the reason why they won that game as far as getting the goals go. Darnell Nurse with Cody Ceci, Ekholm with Bouchard, and Brett Kulak with Vinny Desharnais. Again, this is a few days old, so I do not expect these lines to stay the same. Obviously, they won't. Something's going to change to fit in Jason Demaris into the lineup. When it comes to the game within, or no, this is the medical, sorry, the medical aspects. Obviously, Ryan McLeod now has been upgraded to the long-term injury reserve. That's where the Oilers were able to free up that cap space to bring in Jason Demaris to play tomorrow night. For San Jose, they're pretty banged up with Marcus Nudavera, Luke Kunin, Jonah Godotovich, and Ander Burakovsky, I believe. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I just wrote this down. I kind of scribbled it. He's day-to-day, and Oscar Lindblom, day-to-day. The first three are all on the injury reserve, so they're kind of banged up. As for the Oilers, it really boils down to Ryan McLeod. We know that Murray was out for the rest of the season, and that the LTIR is still paying Clefbaum and Smith. So when it comes to that aspect of things, we're actually going into this healthy, knock on wood. We're going into this year's playoffs as a very healthy team. Hope it stays that way going forward. Okay, let's go into the game within the game. As the Edmonton Oilers have already defeated the Sharks twice, once on January 13th by a count of 7-1. So they absolutely slaughtered the Sharks. And then it was a much closer affair on March 20th, just 3 weeks ago, as the Oilers had to win it in overtime. And Matthias Ekholm, of all people, was the hero of that game. This was actually all defensemen that were stars of the game. Matthias Ekholm, Erik Karlsson, and Darnell Nurse were your three stars. Ekholm went on to say to the media afterward, "Don't expect me to do this all the time," as that happened to be in his, I think, 12-year career or so. I'm not exactly sure how long he's played, but only his second multi-goal game. So we do not expect him to flourish in that regard. When it comes to the game within the game, or sorry, not the game within the game, but the upcoming stats comparison for tomorrow, the matchup and trends are pretty much as followed as the ticker goes. As far as San Jose, they're 14th. Some of their better stats are 14th on the face-off, at 51%, 12th in penalty minutes, so they don't take that many penalty minutes. And the one thing they actually flourish at is they are 4th in the league on the PK. And Oilers, I think, are 18th or 19th. Oilers are actually not that good, but they have been improving. But the Oilers still remain number one with shot percentage, number one with goals, and number one with power play. So, I mean, you can't have... Well, you can. I'd like to actually look at Boston's standings for their defense and their offense, because they must have it pretty good, as they've hit a milestone of massive proportions. It's the first time that they got 60 wins. First time an NHL team's got 60 wins. I don't know exactly what they were saying, but just in a ridiculous amount for them. Okay, so that now takes us to the Twitter question of the week. You can get to my Twitter account. It's Gene Edwards at LUBED Hockey. And I'm trying to build that up as well and be more interactive with you guys. But the question I have before you, would you like, if the stars could align, would you like to see another Battle of Alberta again? Or has this been kind of a, did it, done it, it's kind of over with? Because this year was kind of a funny year. We only met them 3 times, and it's just kind of like, it's like forgotten. It feels like the Battle of Alberta has been forgotten. So would you guys, as the fan base, like to see another Battle of Alberta this year? It's a much different team than it was last year. No Goudreau, no Tkachuk, but however, they do have some new additions. So that is the question I'm going to leave for you guys regarding that. And as far as the final thoughts go, we are going into the last 3 games. This is going to be tomorrow afternoon, by the way, 2 p.m., the first of the 3 final games of the season, and then it's playoffs. And then the playoffs begin. Then the real thing is beginning. I'm going to try to have Sammy aboard next week to do a playoff preview breakdown. I still haven't heard back from him, so I'm trying to arrange that. I also want to give a quick shout out to one of my followers who typed in a message to me saying, why the long intros? So I did a little thinking about the intros, and he's referring to the live ones because I have that countdown timer. So the countdown timer is going to exist. That's just to notify you guys, hey, I'm coming on live if you have any questions for me. So I want to keep that. However, I will be trimming that when I go into post-production on the videos going forward. So you will just get just the intro and then the quick thing. Because, yeah, I can see how that's a bit of a nuance to most of you guys. Anyway, guys, enjoy the game tomorrow. If you are new to this channel and watching this for the very first time and like the content that I bring to you guys, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As for the rest of you guys, always stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. Happy Easter, guys. And let's enjoy another Edmonton Oilers victory tomorrow afternoon. Have a good one, guys.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back,